Hi, everyone, and welcome. So, I know this is supposed to be partner spotlight. However, we are live, and our partner had some issues and could not make it on live just due to some technical issues right now. However, the show must go on. So, since our partner cannot make it, I still wanted to provide you guys some value for logging in and sharing your time with us. So, my name is Jimena Cortes. I'm the CMO here at Consumer Direct and Smart Credit. And as you guys might know, we have a program called Co-Brand Plus. Now, Co-Brand Plus gets specific trainings that are tailored just for them that are, you know, for like anything from FCRA training and certifications to sales processes and marketing and things that are exclusive only to our Co-Brand Plus partners. And since we promised you guys an interview tonight, I wanted to at least share some knowledge and give you guys a sneak peek to one of the trainings that we did recently for Co-Brand Plus. So though our partner could not make it today, that's all right. The show will go on and you guys will learn something that you can use in your business. Now, one of the most important parts of your business, right, is going to be sales and marketing. Obviously, you have to have a great service. You have to know what you're doing. You have to care about your clients and deliver what you promise. But if you have no one to deliver it for, you have no business. And the biggest thing is you have to get to know people to know, like, and trust you, and people to choose you over the competition. So how do you do that, right? Well, one of the ways is once you're talking to somebody, how do you steer the conversation? What can you do to show them that that you are the person to work with, and that you know your stuff, and that you can be trusted. And so this is a script that I had put together a while ago that actually ended up tripling my conversion rates at my marketing agency when I was working there. So I am so excited to share this script with you guys because it really made a huge, huge difference. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So what I'm going to share with you is how to get your prospects to know, like, and trust you before anyone speaks to them, and some script writing techniques that are going to double and even triple your conversion rates, as well as some post-call closing tips that are really unique so that when people start sometimes ghosting you, that they actually respond back. So how do you get your prospects to know, like, and trust you before you or your sales staff goes and speaks to them? Well, the first thing is you want to show credibility. So what I'm showing here is an email that I got from somebody recently, and I went on their website, I signed up, and I said, "Hey, I want more information." And so they replied with this email here that was sharing me a lot of information about why I should trust them, why they are credible, why they are different from other PR companies that I was contacting. And you know what? This is a tactic that I don't see a lot of people using, but this is something that I was using in the past and it works. So if anybody comes to you, they're asking for more information, they want to talk to you about how you guys can work on their credit, send them an email that shows why you are credible. So maybe in your email, you might have, past client testimonials. Maybe you were featured in some sort of publication. Maybe you've got some numbers you can share. Like, I've worked with this many people who are happy. Whatever you can use to show your credibility, that is what you want to put in this email. So it's actually two emails, right? So that I got one right as soon as I signed up, I requested information, and one right before the call. So if you can send one or two emails that show why you are the professional to go with, that is going to go a long way in setting the stage for your conversion rate. By the time you guys get on the phone, the prospect is already halfway sold and it's already excited to talk to you because they've seen the kind of results that you've had for other people. So they want to know how you can have those results for them. And guys, we are live. So if you have any questions, please type them into YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching this. I would love to answer your questions as we get into this training. And again, sorry, our partner was not able to make it tonight, but because we do have a show scheduled and the show must go on, I am going through one of our exclusive trainings that we did recently for our Co-Brand Plus partners So if you want to consider joining Co-Brand Plus, these are the kinds of trainings and kinds of techniques that we'll be teaching you in that program. So scripting techniques. There's two types of calls, right? When you get on the phone with somebody, the first time call, and then there's a follow-up call. So every call has an objective if you don't close on the first time call. So, you don't want to just focus on building rapport. This should happen naturally as you start the conversation. You don't want to seem fake as you're going through your call, right? So what you want to do is when you start going into the first call, you want to ask questions. But what happens is when you start asking a prospect questions, they a lot of times tend to get defensive. And so you get through this by creating an opener that creates interest and also gets permission to ask questions during your conversation. So, how do we do that? You want to say, hi, my name is so-and-so with so-and-so company, and we specialize in, credit restoration work, and we work with people who are, first-time home buyers or looking to, grow their credit because they're in some sort of loan process or they want this result. So you can tailor this to your situation. Maybe you work with, millennials specifically. Maybe you have a specific target audience. That's up to you. But you want to name who they are, right? Who are they? And that's what you want to say in your opener. And you want to avoid promising or guaranteeing anything or doing a mini sales pitch. This is not anything like that. So for example, say, my name is Jimena with Best Credit Repair. We specialize in helping professionals who are looking to raise their credit scores significantly without having to deal with their creditors or the credit bureaus, because this is a done-for-you service. They don't want to do this themselves. So why are we on this call? The purpose of this call is I want to get to know you and your current situation better to ensure that we can help you. Okay, great. We want to make sure we're a fit. That sounds fine. So now what I did right there is I got permission to ask questions because I said, I want to see if we're a fit. All right. So you want to ask about their goals, like why now? What are their goals with this process? Why are they looking to you to get through this process? What will achieving a better credit score do for them? So you want to identify and confirm the problem. So once you've identified and confirmed the problem, you want to say, the clients who we help the most and the ones that get the best results for what we do, they're usually struggling with one or two issues. And then you name the two main issues that your clients have when they come to you, right? Because you're building rapport, you're repeating back to them the problems that they have. And then you want to name the two issues. And out of those two scenarios, what fits your current situation the most? So you're asking them, right? So this is who we help. This is the issues that they typically come to us with. And out of those two, which of them are you most identifying with? So then you say, if we can get you, so you literally just repeat what they just said, whatever this issue was. If we can get you this, and this would save you, XYZ interest on your home loan or your car loan, whatever process you're going into. If we can help you, with these issues on your credit report right now, would you be interested in working with our company? The obvious answer here would be yes, because that's exactly the problem they are trying to solve. So you're just repeating problems back to them and getting a yes. So then, now that you've got this yes, you want to do what I like to call the fast forward technique. And this is really important so that you get an objection out of the way. So you want to say something like, hey, in a moment, I'm going to share with you how we help our clients achieve their goals. But first, assume that you really end up liking what I have to offer. And let's say that you're ready to move forward. What happens next? How do we move forward from there? Do you have to run this by anyone else, like your spouse or a partner or anybody? And if you do the fast forward technique and they're not the only decision maker, you don't want to cut the conversation short right then and there, because obviously that would be really rude. So you don't want to do that. But you want to ask further questions. And then you want to say, okay, so other than price, what is most important to your spouse or partner when selecting somebody to work with on their credit? And you'll say, they'll say whatever that is. And, whether they have an answer or not, you want to say, you know what? Based on what you told me so far, I think I have good news and bad news. The good news is I believe we have a solution that fits what you're both looking for. The bad news is if we don't have everybody here that's involved in the decision, we're probably not going to work on it together. So what this does right here is it takes the objection away. It's like, you know what, I want to sign up with you, but I have to run it by my husband first. Like, I don't know if he's going to be okay with me spending this money. So that takes that out of the way, because you want to have all the decision makers there at once. And if it's usually just one person, then that's fine. But you want to make sure you get this out of the way before you go into any specifics in your offer. So you want to see if you can get that person on the phone or into the presentation. But if you can't, and then they insist on moving forward, you can just move on with your presentation. But right before moving forward, you also want to get time frame for when they're looking to do this. So ideally it's now, but if they're not looking to get started on this process right now, there's not a lot of reason as to why you should move forward with the whole presentation and pull in the credit and all this stuff. You want to do that at the time when they're ready to really get started. So you want to say to them, okay, just so I understand, you're looking for a solution that does, and then just repeat back to them the problems that they're working on. That's correct. Yes. And then once you find a solution that meets your requirements, how soon are you looking to put that in place? How soon are you looking to get started? And then they'll tell you. And if it's within a 30-day time frame, you should definitely move on and see how you guys can work together and move on with your process. But if they're looking at engaging in something like this in 3 to 6 months, then you want to be talking 3 to 6 months from now, not really today. So you also want to get why they want to wait so long. And so once you get that information, now you know how to move forward. The last thing that you also want to do is qualifying on price. So you want to say something like, hey, look, our solution is going to run between X and X, depending on several factors. And if you like what we have to offer and you decide you want to move forward with it, is that within your price range? And if they say yes to that, you've now taken away the fact that they could say, oh, this costs more than what I thought it was going to cost, right? Because if they say, no, that's not within my price range, you want to say, well, look, there's 2 types of no's. There's no, I couldn't afford it if my life depended on it, or no, I think I could find it cheaper elsewhere. So may I ask what you were expecting, the solution was going to run? And then they're going to tell you. And if they can't work with you no matter what, then there's no point in moving forward, beyond this. You've gotten all the objections out of the way, right? If the problem is there, the decision maker is there, and the money is there, then, you can definitely move forward from here. But you've taken out those objections of, we don't have everybody in the room that we need to talk to, and we don't have the money to afford it. So that's how you can get to these, so to asking these questions in a very natural and in a very consultative manner versus just going, through questions. It's a natural conversation that happens. So this is a script, like I said, that I used to basically triple my conversion rates on sales. And it takes a little bit of time to definitely get it together. You have to practice it and say it over and over, because the beginning parts are really easy. But then once you get into the different scenarios of whether or not the decision makers are there, doing the fast forward technique and then qualifying on price, you want to make sure that you've practiced that over and over so that it rolls off the tongue really naturally. Otherwise, you might sound like you don't know what you're doing or what you're saying. So definitely practice it. You can take this recording and watch it over again and fill in the blanks as to, your particular information. and then just say it out loud. And when you do this, you'll see that the conversations just move a lot more naturally, and they're a lot easier to have. So once a few more tips, when you're doing your presentation with your prospect, you want to make sure that you're also using what are called tie downs or check-ins as you're going through the credit, as you're making suggestions. You want to say things like, for example, does this sound good? Is this making sense? Can you see how, once we get these few things on your credit report taken care of, can you see how that's going to benefit and grow your credit so that you can buy the home that you're looking to buy, so that you can qualify for the car that you're trying to qualify for, so you can save money on interest? Can you see how us going through this work right now is going to get you to that result? So you want to be doing these tie downs because you want them imagining how working with you is going to help them achieve their goals. So that's the only reason they're there. They want to achieve a certain result, and they think you're the person to do it. So once you get to the end, you want to say something like, okay, does what I just told you, does that sound like what you're looking for? And other than price, is there any reason why you would not move forward with us today? That's it. You don't want to do a hard close either. I mean, this is a consultative approach, and it's very simple. Now, if you go for the tie down and then they're saying no, it didn't work. I worked with somebody else in the past. They just took my money. They did nothing. I got no results. And we all hear that. You want to say something like, "Hey, look, I'm sure the last thing you want to do is make the same mistake twice, let alone pay for it twice. So let me ask you this. Find out what happened in the past, and then say, well, look, if we can get you this result and avoid, whatever, pain they just told you about, whatever issue they went through in the past, do we still have a chance of working together?" So that's how you want to handle that objection. And you want to be empathetic. You want to say, I've had clients that experienced this in the past, and this is what we did. This is how we're different. This is what we do, and this is why you won't experience that with me. So last tip I will give you guys, and then I will take any questions that you guys have. Let's say you've talked to somebody. Let's say that the conversation went great. We thought everything was good. And then you are trying to get a hold of them and you cannot get a hold of them. You can send them what's called the alien email. This thing is hilarious. I love this email, but every time I would send this one out, people would, for the most part, respond because it's funny and it's different. So you definitely want to incorporate some humor into your sales process if you can. And this email starts like this. Hey, I hope you're having a great week. I'm reaching out because last time we spoke, it looked like you guys were very interested in growing your credit, but I haven't heard back from you. Not sure if you've been abducted by aliens or you have entered a witness protection program. And then let's see. LOL, just kidding. Would it be okay to ask you if you could shoot me an email to let me know where we are and what needs to happen next? I look forward to hearing from you. And if you send this out and somebody's been quote unquote ghosting you, there's a very high chance they're going to laugh because they've never seen this in their inbox before. And they're going to get back to you and say, hey, you know what? We decided not to move forward, or you know what? I need another month to get the money together, or whatever it might be, but they will tell you. So guys, I hope you enjoyed our tips on sales scripting and how to get people that are ghosting you to respond back. I'm sorry our partner was not able to make it tonight, but I wanted to still provide you guys with some value and some training that you can use in your business and hopefully increase your conversion rates on the people on the prospects that you're talking to. So do we have any questions? Let's see, I don't think we have any questions for right now. So with that, if you do end up having any questions, you can always type them here and just tag me. I'm happy to help any questions that you guys have. Your success is our success. We love our partners, and the more successful that we can make you, the better. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next month.